أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي كان موجودا قبل حدوث الأشياء ويبقى بعد فناء الأشياء. تفرد بالأولية والقدم ووسم كل شيء ما عداه بالفناء والعدم، كما قال عز شأنه: كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه وكل نفس ذائقة الموت، وقال: كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنام سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: وإن عاقبتم فعاقبوا بمثل ما عوقبتم به ولئن صبرتم لهو خير للصابرين. صلوات. In the light of Risalat al-Huquq, the discourse on right from Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salatu wassalam, we were discussing one of those rights that Imam has mentioned in his book, and it is the right of him who wrongs you. And we discussed this right. This is a very important right, really, because people don't even know that this should be considered as a right. Right of your enemy, right of somebody who wrongs you, right of somebody who has hurt your feelings or he has done anything wrong against you. The right of such a person. So Imam is speaking about this right, and we discussed this right in several sermons, almost 20 sermons. We discussed different aspects of this issue. Why? Because this is kind of base of a society. If you want to establish a good society, you need to know the rights of the individuals and the people who you are connected and related to in any way. But one of the best qualities that you can have as a mu'min, one of the best attributes, is that you be able to forgive other people. Forgiving is one of the best attributes. But it is the hardest one also. Hardest one. It's not easy to forgive. And we discussed that. Today, originally, is the conclusion of our discussion. I know I many times tried to conclude, but almost 20 sermons is still, I feel I did not talk on this topic the way I should. It is a very vast subject. And we need to discuss this. We need to increase our knowledge about this issue. Because it starts from our home, to our neighbors, to our community, to global society. If you are able to forgive, you are able to solve so many problems, so many issues easily, and the benefit of forgiving reaches to you first before the person you are forgiving. So let's see what Imam is saying, because today is just the conclusion. We cannot discuss all those issues that we discussed already, and really everything is beautiful from Ahlul Bayt. See what Imam is saying. Before this, we discussed another right. The right was when Imam is speaking and saying that the right of the person who gives you a favor, any favor. So, yes, many people discuss this right. Someone who has been good with you, how should you treat him? How should you return the goodness of somebody? Yeah, many people will talk about it. But how about this one? The person who wrongs you. How should you return his wrong? Who will tell you? Islam will tell you this. So Imam is saying, أما حق من ساءك القضاء عليه على يديه بقول أو فعل فإن كان تعمدها. A person who wrongs you verbally or physically, إن كان تعمدها. So it can be of two situations, two reasons. One of two reasons. Either he is doing it intentionally or unintentionally. If he is doing this intentionally, so Imam says, فَإِنْ كَانَ تَعَمَّدَهَا كَانَ الْعَفْوُ أَوْلَى. It is better to forgive him when he is doing it intentionally. It's better to forgive if he is doing intentionally. Still, it is better to forgive. But he said better to forgive. He didn't say you have to forgive. Look, this is Islam. Islam is a religion of balance. Balance of rights and responsibilities. When somebody wrongs you, you have the right to take your revenge, to bring him to the justice. Yes, that's right. And Islam gives you this right, as Imam then he says. But why it is awla, it's better to forgive? Even if he has done it purposely, Imam says, because كان العفو بك لما فيه له من القمع. Because this, your good attitude is going to eliminate the animosity between you and him. وحسن الأدب, and then it is one of good manners. He has shown what he had. You show what you have. So you have husnul adab, he had su'ul adab, he had, he didn't have good manners, you have good manners. He showed what he had, you show what you have. Ma'a kathirin, and this applies on many people, Imam says. Again, every single word, we have discussed that. He didn't say you should forgive, number one. No, not should. It's better to forgive. Second, he said this applies on many people. He didn't say this applies on every single one. Because in many situations, you need to punish the person who has done any wrong. And especially, again, keep in mind, I repeated this many times. We are discussing the forgiving, the right of forgiving. We are discussing this only about the person who has been wronged himself. So if you were wronged, you forgive the wrongdoer. But you cannot forgive the wrongdoer of somebody else. Somebody has wronged someone else, and you say, I will forgive you. No, you have no right to forgive someone else who has done dhulm on somebody else. It is you. Imam Ali alayhi salam, when he is offering the drink to his killer and murderer, he is offering to him. Why? Because he killed him. Because he hit him to kill him. But Imam never offered such a drink to somebody else's killer. No, rather he was very strong and very, tough against those people who were oppressing other people. But the person who oppressed him, he was nice with him, it's fine. Me, myself. So keep the word me away. Then it's easy to forgive other people. But once you say, no, me, I, then it's hard to forgive. فَإِنَّ اللَّهِ يَقُولُ. Then Imam referred to this ayat of Quran in Surah Shura. And we read all those ayat before this and after this. Very interesting ayat. وَلِمَنْ انْتَصَرَ بَعْدَ ظُلْمِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَا عَلَيْهِمْ مِنْ سَبِيلٍ. Those people who want to take revenge of their dhulm that have been done to them. Somebody has wronged them, they want to take revenge. It is fine. مَا عَلَيْهِمْ مِنْ سَبِيلٍ. There is no blame on them. The blame is on إِنَّمَا السَّبِيلُ عَلَى الَّذِينَ يَظْلِمُونَ النَّاسِ. The blame is on them who oppress people wrongfully, with no right. They have no right to wrong somebody else. They are punishing people for nothing. These people have the blame. So not the person who is taking his right by asking revenge for something wrong that was done for him. He's going to the court, it's fine. إنما السبيل على الذين يظلمون ويبغون في الأرض بغير الحق أولئك لهم عذاب ولمن صبر. But the conclusion of this ayat is this, and that's why Imam has referred to this ayat. وَلِمَنْ صَبَرَ وَغَفَرَ إِنَّ ذَلِكَ لِمَنْ عَزْمِ. Go read Quran everywhere in Quran. This is very amazing information. Everywhere in Quran, whenever Quran says, yes, you can punish somebody, the permission for punishment. Yes, there is a system of punishment in Islam, and permission for punishment, permission for retaliation. But everywhere, there are 2 points to consider whenever Quran speaks about punishment. Number one, the punishment should not be more than the crime. It should be equal to it. Somebody wronged you, equally you can answer and reply to that wrong. Equally. The condition of equally is very hard. How do you know that you are going to reply equally? Even if one word extra you said it, you became zalim and he turned to be madloom. So it's very hard. But this is the condition of justice. Keep justice in mind when you retaliate. This is one. The second thing everywhere we see is encouragement for forgiveness. Don't even take any revenge. Just forgive him. This is highly recommended everywhere in Quran. Such in this ayat. Liman sabara, whoever demonstrates patience, wa ghafara, and forgives. Show your patience and forgive. فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ لِمِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. This is one of the best things you can do in your life. Then in another place he says, وَإِنْ عَاقَبْتُمْ فَعَاقِبُوا مِثْلِ مَا عُوقِبْتُمْ بِهِ. بِمِثْلِ مَا عُوقِبْتُمْ بِهِ. If somebody punishes you, if somebody wrongs you, you can punish him بِمِثْلِ, exactly equal to what he has done wrong to you. Equal. Don't go more. If you go more, then you will become zalim. وَلَا إِن صَبَرْتُمْ. This is for you. Yeah, it is permitted. But وَلَا إِن صَبَرْتُمْ, if you show patience, لَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لِلصَّابِرِينَ. This is good and best for the people who are patient. The people who are patient. Okay, this was, Imam says, هذا في العمد. This was about the person who wrongs you purposely, intentionally. Now, in many cases, believe me, in most of the cases, in most of the cases, I can say that. The person who wrongs you, he has doing it either unintentionally, either intentionally or unintentionally. The one who is doing it unintentionally or intentionally, the one who is doing it intentionally, he is doing it out of ignorance. He doesn't know what he is doing. So even intentional becomes unintentional because of ignorance. So in most of the cases, the conflict start with unintentional, wrongdoing. So Imam says, if it is unintentional, what should you do? Look, the beautiful saying of Imam. Imam says, فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ عَمَدًا لَمْ تَظْلِمْهُ بِتَعَمُّدِ الْإِنْتِصَارِ مِنْهُ. If he wrongs you unintentionally, don't you wrong him or oppress him intentionally. Look, he didn't say don't take revenge. It was before, in first situation, when somebody has done it intentionally and you are replying this is revenge. But he did it unintentionally. You are doing it intentionally. When you are doing it intentionally, Imam says this is dhulm from you. La tadhlimu. You don't be wrongdoer. Why? Why you are wrongdoer? Now Imam is giving the reason. Look, the reply to somebody who has wronged you unintentionally. Imam says this is not reply. La tadhlimu. This is dhulm. But why? This is the reason. فَتَكُونَ قَدْ كَافَأْتَهُ فِي تَعَمُّدٍ عَلَى خَطَأٍ. Because you are punishing him intentionally for something that he has done unintentionally. He had done it unintentionally, you doing it intentionally. He didn't have the purpose to do this, but you have this purpose, you're doing it purposely. So don't do this. If you do that, you will become zalim. Now apply this in all our relations. Check our relations. And I always start with home, husband and wife relationship, father and son or children and parents and brother and brother and brother and sister and sister and sister, right? And neighbor and community members and others. In most of the cases, the conflict when it starts, it had started unintentionally. Most of the cases, I'm saying. Not always, of course. When it started unintentionally, Imam says, no, you have no right to take revenge. If you do so, then you will be considered as zalim and wrongdoer. Rather, then how should you treat him? How should you be, what your response should be? Imam says, وَرَفَقْتَ بِهِ وَرَفَقْتَ بِهِ. Be polite with him. Forgive him. بِأَلْطَفِ وَرَدَدْتَهُ بِأَلْطَفِ مَا تَقْدِرُ عَلَيْهِ. And respond in the most polite way you can to your ability. تَقْدِرُ عَلَيْهِ. Most polite way of your ability. You say, no, I was good with him. He said, Salaam alaikum. I said, Alaikum salam. No, the most polite way, to your ability. Don't turn your face and say alaikum salam, then say, yeah, I applied his salam. No. Come as, look, Imam, the way he is emphasizing it looks like the person who wronged you, when he comes to you, you are sorry, not him. Look, this is the highest level of akhlaq. You feel sorry for the person who wronged you because he did it unintentionally. So before he says sorry, you say sorry. So don't worry about it. It's fine. And when we really follow this akhlaq, tell me when conflict will come from. Where? What kind of conflict? What kind of, those animosities and hatred and those things? You will never see that. But unfortunately, we are very away from Islamic teachings. And that's why we see what we see in our society. Look to the divorce rate. Look to the relationship between the families you rarely find a family with good relationship. Rare, very rare. Why? Because he said this to me, she said this to me, and I'm not going to go there. She's not going. Just only very simple things become a big deal. We make it big deal. They are very simple and easy. So today I am concluding this discussion, and I think it is available on the internet, on YouTube, around 20 sermons of Juma only on this issue. And still I'm not satisfied. Still I feel I did not give the right to this subject, that Imam has spoken about it amazingly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq and ability to follow the instructions of Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us power and strength of forgiving other people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us away from any wrongdoing and any oppression to other people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq and ability to convey the message of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salam to the world. إن أحسن الحديث وأبلغ الموعظة كتاب الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. ألا قد أمركم الله في محكم كتابه بالصلاة على نبيه وحبيبه، فقال تعليما لكم وتشريفا لصفيه: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على As you know that Ummah is starting from today, mashallah, and there are several good programs at Ummah. And as I was talking, that if we really follow Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, follow the instructions of Quran, as the Prophet has said, I'm leaving two things, Quran and Ahlul Bayt. So we should be following Quran and Ahlul Bayt every time in our life, every day, every hour, every minute of our life. Islam is not just for masjid. Islam is not just for Husseiniya. Islam is for our house, for our job, for our school, for our... Everywhere we go, Islam is there. So we cannot say, okay, now I'm a good Muslim here, and when I go there, I'm not a good Muslim. I'm free. No. You are bound to Islamic laws whenever you go, and especially when you get together collectively. When you get together, then your responsibility even becomes more. Why? Because individually, if you're doing something individually, yes, it's wrong. If you're doing wrong, it's wrong. But the wrong will stay to you only. It's confined. But when you do it collectively, this is not acceptable at all. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never left those people who did anything wrong collectively in all days before Rahmatul Alameen comes. After Rahmatul Alameen, because he was Rahmah lil Alameen, mercy for Alameen, then yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't send any big chastisement or punishment. But before, collective punishments for collective wrongdoings. So we have to be very careful when we attend such gatherings like Ummah. MashaAllah, the founders and the organizers of Ummah and very important personalities from Maryland and Izara Jafri are here. And you also, mashallah, you'll see how our youth are working for this cause. But there should be a good unity based on taqwa. Inshallah, I will be talking there also. The unity based on taqwa. And look, the topic of Ummah is so beautiful. Imam Mehdi, ajallahu farajah sharif. Subhanallah, in Dua Kumail, in Dua Nudba, every sentence is amazing when we read it. One of the sentences is, Ya Jami' al-Kalimati ala taqwa. Oh, our Imam, come soon. Who is the Imam? Jami' al-Kalimati ala taqwa. The one who is going to collect every person on one point of taqwa. So he is going to create the global human unity based on piety. So piety is best. Please be careful. So I advise, and I have been advising this, but alhamdulillah, I thank the organizers of Ummah who take this advice, not from me, of course, I'm nothing, but from other ulama and their leadership, spiritual leadership. Yes, that they take the advice and they are doing good, mashallah, but still we can do better and better and better until we be the best, inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all and bless this organization, bless all people who work for the unity of the ummah and for the upliftment of ummah based on piety and taqwa and good aqidah, inshallah.